I should probably put these in, huh? Welcome to the Manville Entertainment Premises, the podcasting wing. Welcome to Let's Talk, a show here on the Authority Videocast YouTube channel. Today we're going to keep it awfully short, people. I did want to mention that for seemingly the first time in I don't know how long, if you go on ESPN.com right now, you're not going to find NFL as the top story on May 18th. Thank God. If you look right now on ESPN.com, MLB Dead Ball Era, MLB Awards Watch, Stars shine on Monday, like Otani blasting his MLB leading 13th home run, and Garrett Cole makes history by striking out 59 batters without walking a single one. It is not until you get to, of all people, James Harden in the fifth story down, or like the fifth little thing down, not one of the headlines there. Only then do you get something that isn't baseball. And for it being the middle of May, usually it's just because it's ESPN.com, you're almost always going to have exclusively NBA and NFL talk, and MLB is just pushed off to the side. But last night was a big night in baseball. Usually that night is reserved for Sunday, but it really felt like a lot was going on last night. And most in particular, and this is what we will obviously be talking about today, I'm not going to spend too much on it because I think obviously we all need to, if you haven't already, everyone needs to go and watch this video. Sadly, I watched this live. Francisco Lindor was on base, and I was trying to see if he's going to come around and score to notch me another fantasy point. But I was actually watching live when the Braves and the Mets were playing. Bases were actually loaded. A young Jacob Webb was on the mound. He had just come in to replace Max Fried of the Atlanta Braves, who had pitched a great game. And this Jacob Webb kid came out and he proceeded to melt Kevin Pillar's face with a 96 mile per hour fastball. And when I mean melt this young man's face, I mean, it was nails on a chalkboard is like one of the very few things I can even compare it to. Watching it, it's like when we saw Weidman break his leg in UFC a couple weeks ago. You see it and your stomach just churns. It just makes you it's terrible. You can't not see it, but then once you do, it's obviously it's stomach curdling, like it's blood curdling, it's stomach churning rather. Yeah, it's shocking. I can't, and Kevin Pillar's already tweeted that he's okay. I mean, I thought he's going to have trouble breathing. It turns out he definitely has suffered multiple nasal fractures. This is the top story on ESPN.com, by the way, is as it should be. It was unlike anything I've seen probably since Giancarlo Stanton got beamed in the face. And even then, I don't know. Like the bases were loaded. Like you just didn't see it coming. And in the picture, Jacob Webb felt so bad, and you knew it. I mean, the bases were loaded. He wasn't trying to hit him. Like that's the last thing he's trying to do. He's trying to keep the Mets from scoring. But it's tragic. I actually can't. And Jacob Webb was so distraught. Over the fact that he had just hit Kevin Pillar. This says 94 on the telecast. They were saying 96. Either way, we'll settle in the middle. 95-mile-an-hour fastball crushes poor Kevin Pillar in the face. And I'll be honest, I always kind of didn't like Kevin Pillar. When Kevin Pillar was on the Toronto Blue Jays, I just thought he was kind of a tool bag, and not a 5-tool bag, just a tool bag. And now Kevin Pillar's got to be one of my. I'm pulling for him. I mean, shut the hell up. We're pulling for Kevin Pillar to come back. So holy crap, Jacob Webb felt so bad he immediately had to leave the game. I mean, when does he pitch again? Because if he stayed in the game, I feel like maybe Jacob Webb can work through it. Right there in the moment, Jacob Webb might be able to actually see more pitches go by that aren't hitting guys in the face and smashing their nose. And in that moment, if you keep him on the mound and he's able to pitch through it, now maybe other than the fact that he had just broken Kevin Pillar's face, they're also dealing with the fact that when this all went down, it was a 1-0 game. When Kevin Pillar gets hit in the face, it was actually the game-winning RBI. It put him up 2-0. The Braves ended up hitting a home run later in the game. The final score was 3-1, but Kevin Pillar's getting smashed in the face with the ball and taking his base. He didn't take his base. He left the game right away. He went right to the hospital. But that was the deciding RBI. Like, that was the game-winning RBI. Oh God, Jacob Webb though. If you now that he did that and left the game, and like I was starting to say, I'm just so excited. This was such a happening. Um, uh, if you leave Jacob Webb in the game, it gives him an opportunity to work through some of what he just saw. Like, he's obviously shook, but because the game was so close and the Braves were trying to keep a wraps on not just the situation developing with Kevin Pillar and Jacob Webb, but they're kind of trying to keep wraps on the entire game. So yeah, it was really tough. We're pulling for Kevin Pillar, but it was really tough to see Jacob Webb like not handle that well. He clearly didn't handle it well. He didn't want any part of being left in the game, so he's out. And it'll be interesting to see how long it takes Jacob Webb to get back on the bump after this. I mean, I can't. He's probably terrified. Like, no one wants to do that to somebody else. You know, we all get it, hardball. We get all that. But no one wants to do that to somebody else. I mean, it was sickening. I mean, it was sickening. I've seen something like it one other time in person in my life. I mean, I wasn't watching the Giancarlo Stanton thing live. I cannot believe I was happening to watch this live, all because Francisco Lindor was on base. But one time when we were 12, junior league baseball, our pitcher, he was frustrated. You could tell the frustration was building. He got really upset, and he let one go with absolutely no control. And I'm not going to say he intentionally beaten this kid, but he didn't care where the ball went. And oh no, the kid ended up wearing a football helmet the rest of the season, if that gives you any idea of what happened on that play. So, like I said, I'm not going to make this one very long. Go check it out. It's incredible. I still have some stuff I want to get to. I guess we'll get to it later in the week. That's the beauty about this. I have stuff that I want to talk about. I have certain topics, but news keeps breaking in the world of sports, and in particular baseball. And I guess I'm just really, I took a moment there in the beginning to tell you guys, because with my now being so into baseball right here, right now, like I just want it, like, just fill my veins, just tap, I need it, right? The fact that that ESPN is actually taking care of one of their own properties. Like, it's not like they have nothing to do with baseball. Like, ESPN is in bed with baseball the same way that it is now in bed with hockey. And for years, hockey was given no publicity. They were given no space on ESPN.com because they didn't have a television contract. Baseball's had a television contract with ESPN for some time, so it makes no sense for them to receive. They should be receiving the same type of coverage as NFL and NBA, especially when MLB is in season and something like the NFL is not in season. That's why the whole schedule release thing with the NFL just turned me off so much, because it's like, you're not a 365 sport. Be happy that you dominate the fall and into the winter as much as you do, but it's summertime. It's time for baseball, and particularly with the NBA being as dumb, and is just, like, if the Nets don't win, shame on them. But as the day that the James Harden trade happened, I could have assumed fully that the Nets are going to take the NBA championship. And again, like I said, if they don't, that is just a shame on them. But yeah, I'm just really happy that I spent all night watching baseball last night. And then look at that. There's stuff to read about baseball on ESPN.com. It's not just about stupid NBA stuff that no one cares about. But obviously the playoffs for the NBA are coming, so people care about that. Looks like we've set records today. A record-setting live audience has joined us. I'm super excited, you guys. Let's cut it off while the getting's good, and then we'll come back at it tomorrow, okay? So make sure to like, share, subscribe, comment. Thank you. The world building, we'll still do it. You know, we're going to get some social media going. We'll engage you guys so that way we can do more stuff, not only during the live show, but then we can come back and we can assess what's been going on in the world of the Authority Videocast. So love you guys so much. Thank you for joining me. And remember, with your crumbs on your shirt, shut the hell up in your grandmama's basement. We're pulling for Kevin Pillar. Jeez. I love you guys.